I want to talk a little bit while I eat this food. I'm 6 years sober. I've talked about it before in some of my videos, but a lot of what's going on in my life right now kind of has to deal with, the 6 years of being sober, to be honest. Listen, man, I used to abuse alcohol and drugs. I got hurt when I was 18. I'm 42 now. I've been paralyzed 24 years. And before I got hurt, I was like, to me, in my eyes, and in my, the way I thought about myself was I was unstoppable. I was strong. I could do anything. I had a couple jobs. I was working for heating and cooling when I got in my accident. That's how I broke my back and severed my spinal cord. I was working and I was heading out to a big job out of the capital where I used to live, Michigan, Lansing. And my van just went faulty. And, and I also was doing like side stuff where I was like, had my own little business going where I would do like build porches and, do roofing and, little things like that, but I abused alcohol and drugs, man, and it just got worse and worse and worse. I got to a point where I didn't even care if I lived or died. Really, I'm being serious. I would just take drugs, smoke weed all day long. I started drinking only on the weekends and then popping pills throughout the week and smoking weed. And then I did a couple other hard drugs, man, that I'm not proud of. I mean, there was a point where I was taking mushrooms every other day, man, like an eighth of mushrooms, man, just because I like the high and fucking being all weird and wacko and fucking seeing shit. And again, I just put my life in danger. I put other people's life in danger. Didn't even think about it. Like, I was so depressed of what had happened to me that I just didn't care. But I'm talking about this right now because I think about it all the time, and it's just, I'm very blessed to be able to, go through these struggles and make myself stronger to stay away from stuff like this. Don't get me wrong, man. When I go through these hard times in life, man, and like I said, I got things always thrown at me, hardships, because I'm paralyzed. But I still just stay focused, and I remember, of the bad person I used to be, and I don't want to be that person. And if I ever went backwards, what would actually really happen to me? I'd be dead, or I could really mess up my life, maybe be in jail for the rest of my life. Like, that's not the kind of life that I want to live. Like I said, no matter what hardships I go through, I just try to do my best, man. And I'm staying away from alcohol, drugs, things like that, because that's not going to help me out. It's just not. And that's another reason why I do the regimens that I do and the habits that I do, pushing every morning, exercising, eating healthy, trying to get in healthy foods. It just keeps me, on track, and it keeps me, even tracking my food and something that stupid, just like tracking my food through an app. It's another thing to keep me occupied and keep doing. Then think about the other bad stuff, man. Like, it's the truth. And again, I didn't care about my life. I was so upset what had happened to me. I drank and drove. I just didn't care if just being honest. So I'm just blessed, man, that I'm 6 years sober. And, I wish, other people can see, why, I can't do that stuff. I can't just have one drink. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy that if I have one drink, I'm getting blacked out. I'm getting so fucked up. And why is that? I don't know. It's just my personality. It's just who I am, I guess. It's just like when I smoked marijuana. Like, I couldn't just smoke it here and there. Like, some people can do that. I can't. Like, I'm smoking it all day long. From the time I wake up. If I wake up in the middle of the night, I got like, a bowl or some doobies, some joints already rolled and, hitting it a couple times to put me back to bed. Like, I just am crazy about all that stuff. That's why I got to stay away from it. I got to keep away from it. And listen, man, addiction is not, it's not fun, and it's not easy, man. It's really hard. It really is. I understand that. But there's going to be a point in life where you're going to really have to make a decision, no matter how boring your life is, no matter how, hard things are. If you decide to do something like that, like when I used to, you got to deal with those bad consequences. And I don't want those bad consequences anymore. So I'm going to keep moving forward, and I'm very proud that I'm 6 years sober this year.